really happy to have you here because not just because I really admire your work, you know that, but because I
Mhm.
feel that it really resonates with what Manifesta is about. And when I see your work or when I see you, I always go back to when we were living in New York. I have been following your work, and you are like a visual artist, and you are an ecologist as well, and you bring this awareness to the world, and I think that's really really important. And also you have been living in many places, many cities, many countries like Iceland or Costa Rica, Mexico, Chile, where you work in this amazing project of Cochayuyo kelp.
Yeah, I think a lot of my work is trying to show the beauty of nature or just organisms and parts of nature that we're not used to see, because we just simply don't know about them. And I think there are so many things which are like, I don't know, kelp or fungi or insects, or even this idea of like the underwater world. So many things we just don't know about.
Exactly.
And how can we care if we don't know about certain things, you know? And for example, yeah, this picture it's an algae, but you would never expect it is an algae. So I think also one of my methods is to show something that is in nature in a way that we're not used to see it. So maybe like this we can get to know it, or like this we can learn to see it through a different view. And we
Sorry,
can
that's
all,
Cochayuyo kelp.
yes.
Okay.
That is Kocha Yuyu also. Like this
Beautiful.
is Kocha Yuyu in the water, and this is dried Kocha Yuyu. And I think that like not many people are used to either know about this kelp, this species of algae, and also don't really know what they're used for or how they look, or like just for them it's just this distant thing, that slimy thing on the beach they don't want to know about. And I think this is with many things, maybe with fungi, maybe with even decay, insects, all these things that are just so fascinating if you spend time with them and if you allow the beauty and the fascination to come to you. And I think I am very easily driven, and that's why I try to put myself in this environment and why I try to also show the connection of yeah, of what I have with nature and what I have with these organisms, but also how you can like see that we're part of it and see that we're very much entangled and very much connected with these organisms and with our natural world. And also sometimes just like, for example, this picture to make it more human, because I feel like in the moment we are connecting it with like yeah, our body, we are connecting it even like with the entanglement of ourselves. It takes or it gives a new perspective and a new like touch on how can we connect with it and how can we engage and care about certain things better. And yeah, for me it's a very explorative process. I guess self-portraiture is also a process of allowing yourself to spend time with your environment, allowing yourself to spend time with what you feel and how your body is engaging with your environment. And when you do that, you build the relationship slowly. And the process of for self-portraiture helps me to really transfer and transmit this feeling of togetherness.
I think that's a beautiful way to describe it. And the importance that you give to these algae and fungi and insects and you but not just photograph them or that. It's just that you go to the places, you go to the countries, you go to the communities and spend a lot of time there. So you really like bring this to your work, so the viewer can feel like the how you integrate all of this. Why do you think it's so important to show beauty and fragility with art in times of crisis or in times of a climate emergency like we are now living in?
I think it's a little bit what you said. Like, it's really the process of allowing yourself to spend time with certain places and people and nature and like objects or subjects in your life. Because with everything we like in life or we love, we need time to get to know it.
Exactly.
And we care about our friends and about our family because we really know them and we really know like what they bring us, how they help us, what we get from them, what we can give, what you know, like there is a giving and taking, there's a reciprocity in life in general. And this only happens when we care and when we build a relationship and when we know about it. And how can we care or build a relationship with an environment we've never been to, or with a world we are so disconnected from because we are living in cities, or we're living just simply in different places where we don't have forests or kelp forests or oceans next to us. So all these crises and like climate problems that are happening, they always seem so distant and so far from what we know and far from where we are and what we care for, that simply there is just hard, it's hard to know and hard to build action. But while I hope with my imageries and with my photography or video work, it is about allowing us to give a space to getting to know certain things. And in these installations or with my work, it's about feeling a love or a care or even this beauty or this fascination or simply a spark of interest to wanting to get to know something. Because then you see this weird kelp, which you don't know what it is because it looks like a heart or it looks like, I don't know, hair. And then it's like, oh, what is it? Maybe I want to know more about it. Maybe I want to dive into it. And I think with just this start of wanting to get to know something, you starting the beginning of dating your environment and dating something that you might want to protect or keep alive.
Exactly. And it's not just like photograph beauty and that's it, because you can go and find insects close to you where you are in that place. It's like really, really go there. And it's like, I don't know if you know Rebecca Solnit.
Yeah.
Okay, so Rebecca Solnit is like, it's a writer and she's an activist as well. And she says something that it reminds me to your work and to you, is like, the hope isn't just like a blind optimism, right? It's not like just beauty, but it's a commitment to possibilities, because I see that in your work. When you see a photo from you, it's like seeing like all the possibilities that we can change or we can transform with this in the real world, in a world that really needs a lot of solutions, right?
Oh, that's a
Especially
beautiful
with
way of
nature.
seeing it.
Especially with nature.
Yeah, it is. It is a different entry point into what is there already, by what we tend to oversee and what we tend to simply see as a distant thing. But I feel many times also when you take certain things out of their normal environment and you put it more onto a human into body environment, or even more in a staged kind of artistic way of showing it, it is somehow taking the context away, but with this giving more attention to what it is, and then maybe giving a new context of interest into it, which then like tries to initiate your way of wanting to get to know it. It's your personal story that starts, and not the stories that are all written and the way we always used to see it.
Exactly. And thank you for your work and how it really resonates with Manifesta, because in Manifesta, what we want is people who really think that art can transform and art can heal. And in this case, I think you can heal the nature that it's now in crisis. And there's another part that it's beautiful and we need to pay a lot of attention.
One more thing, because you
Yes,
said
sure.
like the way of learning. I think it is really a
Sure.
way of learning. Environmental education is also a way of that we are so leaking in our world, because we don't, in school or something, we lose, or in general we lost our contact with our natural world, and no one teaches us. And I think the way to engage and to see differently and to connect, I think I said it all, to connect in a new way. And we need to start with the basics, no? With educating
Thank you
us,
for bringing that.
educating.
Yes.
And I think this is also what I do. Like really, I want to touch things, I want to see it, I want to put it somewhere, I want to play with it. And the way of playing is what we as children have always learned to do to get to know something. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Visual.
Thank you for believing in Manifesta.
Of course, I think it's a really cool and amazing like project. And I know it takes energy, but all the good things take energy and they will flourish at one point. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So see you soon.
Yep. Have a good day. Ciao, ciao.
Bye-bye. Thank you.